Hello, Algebra 2 class. This is a little supplementary video on linear equations. If you're in my sections, we did some of this on Friday before homecoming in class. If you're in Mrs. B's section, you did this after homecoming. So you may have already learned this in class, but I want to show it again and also show a couple extra things. So this is on linear equations. So what I'm covering here is just more on writing linear equations. I'm going to also add parallel lines and perpendicular lines. Things I didn't cover before, but we will cover in this chapter. So, shall we? Let's go. So the first of 4 examples I will show you, I want you to write the equation of a line with a slope of negative 2/3 and through 5, negative 8. So it's somewhat basic. I'm going to use the equation y equals mx plus b. This one, however, will have a fractional answer for the slope and the y-intercept. Just want you to see that not all math problems involve nice whole numbers. So here we go. I know first off that my slope is negative 2/3, so negative 2/3 goes right here. I also know that I'm through the point 5, negative 8, so y is negative 8, and x is 5. So then I just fill in the rest. I want to solve for b. Once I have b, I have my entire equation. So my first step will be I'll just use this dark blue color, negative 8 equals, this is going to be negative 10/3 plus b. I'm going to change 8 into negative 24/3, right? Same number, just the thirds version. So I convert to thirds, now I can add these together. So to both sides, I'm going to add 10/3. So what I have then is that b equals, because those cancel out, negative 24/3 plus 10/3, that's going to be negative 14/3. You can write that as negative 4 2/3 if you wish. For slope, I always prefer to have fractions, improper or not, because you want to know how you move. With y-intercepts, having that negative 4 2/3 is fine, because that way you know where to put that first point. So it's like you go down 4 and down like a little bit extra. So my whole entire equation goes from this to be y equals negative 2/3 x minus 4 2/3. And that's it. I'm done. And then poof, if I graph this equation, it's down here. I start negative 4 2/3, so I went down 4 a little bit extra, about 2/3 extra, down 2, right 3. Negative slope, so it's down 2, and then right 3. Your first move should always be right, like a book, left to right. That negative tells me I'm going down. So that's the first one. Let's go to the next one, a little bit more difficult. So example 2. Write the equation of a line through 2, 7 and negative 1, 1. What makes this harder is that I don't have the slope yet. So I first got to find the slope, whoops, that should be equals, before I can plug it into this equation. So here we go, let's find the slope. So it's y minus y over x minus x. So it's going to be 1 minus 7 over negative 1 minus 2. That's negative 6 over negative 3. That means my slope is 2, or 2 over 1, but I'll just keep it as 2 to be simple. So I know then that my equation is going to be y equals 2x plus some b. I've got to find that b. Now here, once I have my slope, I can plug in either point I wish. It doesn't matter which one you pick. For right now, I'm going to pick 2, 7. Just keep it all positive. Why not? So what I have then is 7 equals 2 times 2 plus b. And so 7 equals 4 plus b, which means that b equals 3. Which means that my final answer is y equals 2x plus 3. That's the equation of the line through these 2 points. And by the way, a quick little side note, if I plug in negative 1, 1, I get the exact same b. I'd have 1 equals 2 times negative 1, right, mx, plus b. That means that 1 equals negative 2 plus b, I would add 2 to both sides, so 3 equals b. So either way, whether I chose the second point or the first point, got the same b, got the same answer. If I give you 2 points and want you to find that line, first find the slope, which I did right here, and there it is, and then it doesn't matter which point you pick. Just pick one, stick with it, find your intercept, and you're done. Alright, on to the next one. Okay, for this one, something we haven't seen yet, at least in this class. I want you to give me the equation that's through the point negative 4, 3 and parallel to this equation right here, y equals 4/5 x minus 5. So here's the thing, parallel lines, as you should know from geometry, or just middle school math or algebra 1, they go in the same direction. Right? I'm trying my best here to draw lines in the same direction. I am only human, so I'm kind of screwed up here, but you get the idea. They go in the same direction. So of course, what does that mean about their slope? That means that their slope is the same. So parallel lines give you the same slope. So what I know then is that my slope of this equation I have to write is 4/5. And so I can use that and work with that and then plug in that point. So right away, what I know is my equation is going to be y equals 4/5 x plus b. And by the way, just a side note, that minus 5 in the equation I'm referring to for the slope doesn't mean anything, right? Because I'm through this point with this slope. So I gotta find my new b for my new equation. That negative 5 is completely worthless. Just ignore that. It's just there as a distraction. So anyways, let's plug in my x and y. So 3 equals 4/5 times negative 4 plus b. That means that 3 equals negative 16/5 plus b. I'm going to make 3 instead of being 3 15/5. Just converting my fractions here. So to both sides I'm going to add 16/5, which means then, that is a 16, which means then that my b is equal to 31/5, same thing as 6 1/5. So the equation I need here is y equals 4/5 x plus 6 1/5, or 6.2, whoops, 6 1, having a problem here with this page wants to scroll, I hit that little arrow at the bottom. Anyways, there's the equation. It's through the point negative 4, 3, and it's parallel to this equation here. So parallel lines, look at the equation you're given, and just use that slope. Sometimes they'll just give you, oh, it's parallel to a line through 2 points. Well, then just find the slope of those 2 points, use that slope, find your new equation. So again, the answer was down here in orange. So one more example, and then I'm all done here. So here's my last example for this video. I want you to write the equation of a line through negative 4, 3 and perpendicular to the line 4/5 x minus 5. The only difference here from the last example is that it's perpendicular and not parallel. So again, to review from geometry, perpendicular lines intersect at right angles. So this is me drawing by hand. It's not very nice, but I'm doing it anyway. And when these lines intersect, they should make right angles. So it could be anything as long as the two lines intersect at right angles, right? These are all perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines have what is called opposite reciprocal slopes. Try and spell this right. Opposite reciprocal slopes. The opposite means that you make the slope the negative of what it was. Reciprocal, you take that fraction and you flip it over. So the slope of the other line was 4/5. That means your new slope is negative 5/4. See that double switch there? Opposite reciprocal. So my new slope is going to be negative 5/4. So my new slope is negative 5/4. I'm going to drag these instructions down so you can see it. So my equation is going to be y equals negative 5/4 x plus b, which is actually why I'm going to plug in those 2 points here. So it's going to be 3 equals negative 5/4 times negative 4 plus b. The nice thing here is that these 4's cancel out and the negatives cancel out. So I have 3 equals 5 plus b. Pretty nice here, right? Because again, these cancel and these cancel because they multiply 2 negatives. If 3 equals 5 plus b, then from both sides I subtract 5 and b equals negative 2. So my final equation is going to be y equals negative 5/4 x minus 2. So I have then found a line that's through this given point, negative 4/3, and perpendicular to line 4/5 x. Just a little sorry, microphone cut out. Just a quick little extra thing here. If I were to graph that first line here, so 4/5 x minus 5, I'm just going to put that point down there at negative 5, kind of guess where it's at. Up 4 over 5, it's probably something like that. The other one, negative 5/4 x minus 2. So minus 2, it's down 5 over 4, right 4. It's also up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, left 4. Right, that's the slope I want. So if I draw this line in orange the best I can, I get something like this. If I draw the purple equation, I get something like this. And it's by hand, it's not perfect, but you do notice though that the slopes appear to be perpendicular. Or the lines, I mean. So the slope 4/5 and the slope negative 5/4 are opposite reciprocals, because one's positive, one's negative, and the fractions are flipped over, and the slopes are perpendicular. So there you go. A couple things you'll be held accountable for in this unit, not just writing equations, but also writing equations of lines that are parallel or perpendicular. So that's it for this video. Bye, y'all.